Welcome to this look at a mod map for Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. This is Nordic Country. This was a map that came out last week. I have been away dealing with some things, so I'm catching up on my map tours. This by Holtzbub66 and ThiluLP. 225.38 megabytes to download. It does have required mods. The required mods do auto-download. When you click on the map, they auto-download. There is the grain silo set with Multifruit by Top Ace 888 Cowshed by DMI 20mm Normandy. Old-styled Farmhouse with Barn by DMI 20mm Normandy. The Forage Harvesters pack by BlackEyesModding and the Cattle Pasture by Farmer 1602. Now, the old-styled Farmhouse with Barn is right here next to us, and it has a sleep trigger with it. I'm not tired, so I don't need to use it. This is an intriguing map because there are some kind of quirky differences. Well, we've got Hercules and we've got geese fly over. They don't actually flap their wings, but you do get a kind of geese sound in the distance when they fly over. But the thing about this is the slot count. On New Farmer, Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, it's 503 on all three game modes. And with those mods installed, actually let's go to our garage. So we start with the Cowshed, the large multi-fruit silo, the bunker silo large, and old-styled farmhouse. That's it. We don't start with any equipment or machinery. Or so I thought, and that's what's very strange about this. Because if we come back out, you can see that we have got some equipment and machinery. And it does say on the mods hub, good starting fleet. So with a slot count of 503, we've got a loading wagon around the sides here. And if we go to open up the barn, you'll see even more, which is crazy. We've got all of that. 2 tractors in here. There's another tractor outside. But none of this is listed as owned. I've checked on leased. It's not listed as leased either. So what I then did was took one of the vehicles over to the reset point, or the reset point is at the store, but I reset it and sold it. Took it to the sell point, customization point. All of the machinery and equipment we have has 0 value. So everything we start with, it all runs, it all operates. I'll jump in the tractor. It runs, it operates, but it has 0 value. So when you sell it, you don't get any money for it, and the slot count doesn't go down. I ended up selling 2 tractors, a trailer and the baler. The slot count stayed at 503. So I've never come across this before in a console map. To have a load of equipment, machinery and stuff you start with that doesn't show that you own it. You can't. You can sell it, but you don't make any money from selling it, so you don't gain anything by doing that, and it's not affecting the slot count either. So the large silo is just there. We've got a John Deere here with a water tanker. We've got a feed mixer. So we do start with quite a bit of gear. There's a harvester over there as well. What's it called? The Cowshed by DMI 20mm Normandy is this one here. This will hold 100 cows. And we've got various different triggers around it for feed, straw, milk, etc. It's really got me kind of baffled. But anyway, on top of all that, we have got some extra crop types. We have got propagation grass and we have got rye on here. Now, propagation grass, as far as I can tell, and as I know in the real world, is grass that is grown for its grass seed. So normally when the grass goes to head at the top, it's all taken off. So all the seeds are removed and then they can be used for grass seed. That's what propagation grass is for. We've got rye on here, but with the addition of the Forage Harvesters pack, we've also got the ability to make corn mash, or corn porridge is what it's referring to on the map on here. There's also a Roper Panther been included with a header to be used for potato harvesting as well. So quite a few mods have been thrown in, as well as the required mods, by the map maker. So what we'll do is go along to Beat Technology. No, not Beat Technology. potato technology, and there you go. You've got the Roper Panther 2, 35,000 litre capacity, and that will do potatoes. A little bit larger capacity than what you start with the Veritron. And then if we come out and we go to, I think it's under potato technology, we've got the header that goes with it. They're saying 2.7 meters wide, so it's not like a huge header, but you've got a much larger capacity on the actual harvester itself. And then as far as planting or seeding goes for the extra crop types, the rye and the propagation grass, that's done using seeders. So if you scroll across, you can see them both there. And as far as the corn mash goes, we've got the addition of 2 forage harvesters, part of the forage harvester pack, the FR780 and the Big X1180. Those do give you the option for doing corn mash, and for headers for those you will find under corn headers, not under forage harvester headers, and we've got a selection there. Now I'm going to go over that again, because what I'm going to do now is just show you the relevance of the corn mash, what it does and what it's for. So what this actually means in practice is having the Forage Harvesters pack installed with the required mods, which I've already said, auto download. If we go and look under, this depends actually whether I've already shown this or not, but if we go to our Forage Harvesters, on the end there we've got the FR780 and the Big X1180, both modded and put in here as part of the Forage Harvester pack, which would allow you to do, it says corn porridge, corn mash, it's along those lines. When you choose the one you want, you can have standard configuration or corn mash. So you can have it as a regular forage harvester, or it will do the corn mash with a few different options. And the actual header you need is under corn headers. And again, as part of that pack, at the very end here, we've got the Capello Diamond and Quasar headers, which are specifically designed for doing corn mash and will fit on the Big X1180 or the FR780, whichever, and you can change the colour configurations on those as well. So what should happen is if I turn that on, we start now corn, we're getting the corn mash coming out of the other end. I'm trying to think, was it Ischia? I want to say Ischia Farms, I think. That was one of the maps that did this as well, wasn't it? One of the first ones that did this. Because the Forage Harvesters pack is by BlackEyesModding, I'm pretty sure it was. So that's the premise, that as it stands at the moment, we are doing corn mash, but it is raw. So then what you do is you put it into one of the silos, which has also been modded in here. And it's specifically a corn porridge silo. So whereas the regular silos will take grass or chaff and you compact them and convert them into silage, this will take your raw corn mash and change it into standard sort of maize or maize porridge corn mash, which you can then sell or you can feed to the pigs. It's actually part of the pig system on here as well. So that in essence is what you do. Just bear with me a second and we'll unload it into the silo, which I've placed at the farm. So this has been, I've placed this in addition to, you'll find it under silos. There are a small, medium and a large, and we should tip that up. So I'm going to catch the ball, we're going to be alright, we should be alright. In goes our raw corn mash, corn porridge. Now, I'm not sure if this needs to be compacted actually, because it's not actually showing anything. I'm hoping this isn't going to have an issue. I've had before when these have done this. I'm going to have to place another bunker for it to work. Let's open that up. There we go. No, compacting. So fill level, there's not a lot in there. We'll compact it to 100%. So you compact it just like you do with chaff or grass. And obviously you want more in the silo than that probably. Blanket silo, that will then ferment and then you can set it on. Okay then, I hope that helps out a little bit. So we've got our multifruit silo there, large multifruit silo. What I'm going to do now is grab a tractor and we're going to head round. The map itself, I haven't really talked about, have I? That's what the map looks like. I'm so out of practice. On New Farmer, we start with the main farm here with the farmhouse, the silo, and the cows. Field 27, field 23. We've got field 2 over the side here as well. Field prices go from very small, 24,208 down there in the bottom corner, all the way up mid-size, and then up to the larger ones here. We've got field 19 and field 15, a couple of others. Quite a few grass pastures knocking about, and there are a few placeable areas too. We've got one there, a large-ish one there. There's another one. Where was it? Oh yeah, over here. There's a huge placeable area over there as well. The map is fairly flat too, so there's a lot of option there. It's not quite flat map because we've got a lot of sell points and a lot of stuff on here, but there's a lot of possibility. Now it does say it's a fictitious map in northern Germany. It has a very Dutch kind of feel to it because there are quite a lot of irrigation ditches and things knocking about. I'm still absolutely puzzled and blown away by the livestock, by the vehicles thing. You know, having them all and them not really. I don't know why it's got me so baffled, but it really has. Each of the farm areas and the placeable areas does have a water source point, should you require it. What we're going to do is head round to each of the sell points. Now, I just need to check something because there's a couple of bits of machinery knocking around, and I don't know because because they're not showing up. I don't know if they're ours. There are one or two that aren't at the main store, but I don't know if this is or this has just been. I think it might just be left by the field. Certainly worth a check. No, there's a man sitting on it. It's a nice touch. I don't know if it's broken down or not. Maybe just waiting for a friend. Oh, that's a good time to highlight that fact. Each of these bollards has a collision. I shouldn't have said that word, should I? Last time I said that I got demonetised. So from here we're going to be heading down to the southwest corner of the map, and we're going to work our way around the sell points. As you can see, pretty flat as we go around the whole thing. There are lots of water sources knocking around. Lots of lakes and ponds. There is a fishery sell point. It says fish farming. Now I'm not sure if the PC version, because there's so many different mods available as well on PC for things like that, that maybe the PC version has got some fish farming. I don't know for definite, but it's interesting. There's a sell point that says fish farming. There are some ponds, but we'll get around to that in a little while. Should have got a pickup really, because it would have gone a little bit quicker. As we head towards the southwest corner, it's probably a good time to mention, it is seasons and precision farming ready. There is a bit of forestry available too. There is a sawmill, as you can see to our right. It's not huge forested areas, but there are some forested bits. Plenty of space in between, so it's not densely packed. I think I need to go this way, right to the far corner as far as I can tell. I had a quick quiz around a couple of bits, checked out the stuff to do with the corn mash, but because it seemed it's one of those ones, it's fairly straightforward with regard to sell points. So we are down here at the port sell point in the southwest corner. Yeah, I didn't go round all of the sell points specifically. I had a quick look on the map. What I'm going to do is cut across the grass because it will be a little bit quicker, I think. The next point we come to is here. Now this is a refill station. We've got refilling point 4, seed, fertiliser and lime. I think that's the lime one. We've got seed and fertiliser over here, so you can restock and refill. We've got sell point here for manure. This is the manure selling station, just there. And as we continue along, we've got the sugar factory. just here. Across the road, up a little way, we've got the sawmill. Now there are a few different mod packs and things out there. I was just thinking about, as I was driving around, about all the various different little rivers and stuff everywhere. Now obviously I haven't been across the whole map. As far as placeables go, it's fairly flat. I can't see it being too much of a problem for placeables, but then I've said that before on maps and people come back and say that I haven't been able to place anything anywhere on the map. I would think as long as you're in the land it shouldn't be a problem, so you might be able to put placeable bridges, and there's the NMC bridge mats and various different things to cross some of these little irrigation ditches if you find that you want some shortcuts. Log sell point is just there, wood chip sell point is there. I'll just go back out on this way. So as we continue north, you can see all the different waterways. We're going to go past the placeables point that I mentioned earlier, and then before we get to the fish farm sell point, well, there's some I say ponds. I mean, I always think of a pond as being, you know, just a circular, not circular, but you know, sort of rounded off. But for actual fisheries, the ponds they use, fish pens. How do you refer to them? Fish ponds, fish pens. So placeable area just there with the shed, and then we've got these here, fish farm pond pens. And just past them we've got the fish farming sell point, which is just over there. Next past there, we're going to turn and go across the top of the map. We've got the livestock dealer, livestock market, animal dealer, just in there. And then coming up we've got the spinnery. It's down as weaving, but it's the spinnery sell point. Kind of as I'm driving around as well looking at some of the sell points, we've had a few maps like this, because we had flat map quite a long time ago, and obviously no man's land by Jim, and we've had a couple that have been like this, that have been fairly flat, fairly open, lots of scope for development, not as sparse as flat map. But you can certainly see we could go with it. You know, there's plenty of sell points on here already, but there are loads of sell points available in the mod hub, so you could certainly add a lot more on. And with the start slot count of 503, there's plenty of scope for doing a lot of stuff on here. So Agri LB is the next sell point we come to here. With the barn sell point coming up fast. Well, I say fast. Possibly could have been faster. I'll probably cut the next little bit because we're going to head right to the northeast corner. So barn sell point just there. I'm going to cut across the grass here. So this is the massive placeables point. So the river that runs right the way down the side, or canal, or irrigation ditch, however you want to refer to it. There's bridges that go across to various little houses that run on the side. Now, if you don't start with the main barn, which is the sleep trigger as well, you can place your sleep trigger wherever you like. You could build yourself a whole little community if you want to. But at the mill sell point, just up here, there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of these vehicles about that aren't drivable. They're just there as a, but they are very detailed. Often you find with these vehicles, on some maps. They're a little bit kind of blocky and blurry. That's why a few times I had to stop and check, because I wasn't sure if, you know, if they were available for us to use. So what we're going to do now is head south down the eastern side of the map. Again, I will see you in a moment. We're going to be heading to the biogas plant. Just about to make the turn towards the biogas plant. Something it says in the description for the map, it does say the biogas plant is designed in such a way that it can be used as a contractor. I'm not quite sure what that means, I'll be totally honest, unless it's to do with multiplayer. But this is huge, the facility here. Plenty of scope for putting extra silage clamps down. Loads of shed space for vehicles and machinery. We've got two... Now, I'm hoping, again, I'm hoping this isn't a mistake or a coding error. I hope this is how it's supposed to be. We've got two large silage clamps here, which are closed at the end. And then we've got two here. Now, it looks like the walls are supposed to be there, but it could be because we often get the ones where you can just pile the stuff up in a mound and it doesn't have the walls, and these are open-ended. Now, each of these does come up saying fill level chaff and compacting. But there is the scope, if you are going to do a load of corn mash, corn porridge, you could put some more silos in here. So yeah, as far as it goes with regard to it can be used as a contractor, I'm not quite sure what that means. Now, the biogas plant is fairly expensive. It's 799,000 to buy. I was going to say it's a standard biogas plant. The prices are pretty standard, 360 for 1,000 litres of silage, but it does take sugar beet and it does take corn mash. So when you have done the corn mash and you've compacted it and it's fermented, the biogas plant will take corn mash as well, so it gives a little bit more scope for using the corn mash too. It doesn't pay out a huge amount. It's about 79, I think it pays for the corn mash and the sugar beet, but of course the byproduct from that is you can get your digestate as well. So there are various different mods out there. If you wanted to put a modded sell point for digestate down, you can make a bit of extra money do it that way. So what I'm going to do now is head inwards to the main store. You will have absolutely no problem at all on this map with large machinery. There's loads of space, loads of runoff space. Unlike some of the Dutch maps we have had, whilst there are irrigation ditches and ponds and lakes and stuff, then there aren't so many that you can't move around the map nice and easy. There's not too many fences, there's no hedges per se. I mean, obviously he says that coming up on a hedge around the store, but the hedge doesn't have a collision, so you could drive through it if you wanted to. Again, I wanted to check when I got here on my quick look round, because there is quite a lot of machinery here. This is all as well for show. None of it is available to grab hold of. Your buy point is there. Your sell point, customised repair point is there. And like I said before, this is the reset point too. So if you need to reset anything, it will reset back here to the main store. Plenty of space for vehicles and machinery to spawn, and continue right into the centre. We have got a cow pasture, so we've got the cow barn, which will hold 100 cows. Then we've got a cow pasture, so if you're doing season stuff, you could take them from the cow barn and bring them out to graze in the pasture if you want to. Now, whilst this is part of the required mods, the cattle pasture by Farmer 1602, it's not available to sell, so it's here all the time anyway. And the other thing you need to be aware of, if I click L3 now, nothing happens. You do need to own this plot of land. I can't remember how much it was actually. Where are we? Here. That plot there is 39,000. If I buy it now, and now press L3, we've got the ability to buy, sell, load or unload cows as we want to. Water point is there. Feed trough is in the middle, but obviously there's no point here for milk or manure or anything like that. It is just a grazing pasture out in the field. And then from here, continue up, we have got the Ledley sell point, just through there. Got a fuel station on the left. Finishing off with the dairy sell point just here. And that is the map. We'll just have a quick check, make sure I haven't missed anything. We came right the way up here past all this, the sawmill, up past the fishery ponds, fish farming, animal dealer, weaving, agri-LB, barn, mill in the top northeast corner. We came all the way down, biogas plant, back in to the store, cattle pasture, Ledley and dairy. We've got another placeable point just there, and then as we come back round, we can come back down to the start farm. I didn't come all the way down to the bottom here, but there is a placeable point there, again with the pond, so there are water points at each of them as we go round. So a few additional bits and bobs and a few little quirks to this map that I wasn't expecting. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.